The World Economic Forum has recently launched a controversial new initiative that should have all of us up in arms. The WEF is now calling for all of us to eat human feces and drink urine if we want to be one of the lucky few to survive the great depopulation that they have planned for humanity. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to support the channel and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. The link is below this video. The WEF, which has ordered mainstream media outlets to begin pushing the narrative, is attempting to convince the gullible masses that eating our own feces and drinking our own urine is an essential part of fighting climate change. Klaus Schwab's cronies are determined to destroy every last pleasure known to man. According to Yahoo.com, in the near future, beer will have an extra ingredient: our own urine. And we had better get used to the idea and not complain to our masters, to prove that we are compliant sheep. And obviously, California is fully signed up to the globalist agenda, happily agreeing to drink their own urine to fight so-called climate change. The city of Los Angeles plans are even bigger than that. The city has set out to recycle 100% of its wastewater by 2035. In order to achieve this, LA's Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, which currently only treats wastewater so it's clean enough to release into Santa Monica Bay, must be completely converted into an advanced water purification facility which produces urine that's clean enough to consume. But the elites won't be happy until every last one of us is engaging in our own personal humiliation ritual, consuming our own excrement. Assuming Klaus Schwab decides that you're one of the lucky ones to survive the upcoming mass extinction event that they keep threatening us with. The head of the UK's environmental agency, who is linked to the WEF, says that common people need to be less squeamish about drinking toilet to tap water from sewage plants, as countries and states around the world move towards recycling sewage for human consumption, falling into lockstep with WEF ideology. According to an op-ed in The Times, Sir James Bevan, whose views have previously been disseminated by the WEF, writes that drinking recycled sewage is the future. If we are going to get there, we are all going to have to think differently. Some of these measures will be unpopular, so future governments will need to show political will, he said. It's no surprise the unelected global elite are trying to give the people exactly the opposite of what they want. And it doesn't stop with forcing us to drink urine. After this quick break, we will reveal the psychopathic elite's sick and depraved plans for our dinner tables. But first, an important word from our sponsor. The globalist elite have admitted that they want to bankrupt us, and now they're making their move. The government have been given permission to print as much money as they want. The last time they did that, inflation went up 9%. The Biden regime claims that this has saved America's economy, but all they did is ensure the US dollar gets devalued even further. With the BRICS nations working together to create a new global reserve currency, the threats to the US dollar are just getting stronger. The only ones who aren't afraid are those who invested in gold with Noble Gold Investments. Gold is the one asset that has proven to withstand recession, inflation, and just about all economic threats. Noble Gold Investments is here to help if you want to invest in gold. Click the link below this video to secure your wealth now and get a 24-karat quarter-of-an-ounce gold standard coin for free. NobleGoldInvestments.com is the only gold company I trust. Make no mistake, the globalist elite are also determined to force us to eat our own poop. NASA is at the forefront of the race to develop the technology to recycle human feces into food. According to Science Alert, the food that will sustain future generations as we colonize our way across space may be none other than our own shit, if a new NASA-funded project is successful. But they don't want to call it by its real name. They are using terms like biosolids instead. It's a nice way to smooth out the language, isn't it? The globalist elite love to use doublespeak and jargon to confuse the masses. Is it torture? No, it's enhanced interrogation techniques. Is that a bribe? No, it's a constitutionally protected political contribution. Calling human feces biosolids or something else is simply the next step in the progression of things. And the WEF have been intent for years on bringing human poop to the table. Japanese researchers were funded in 2012 to create a commercial product that the researchers were calling the shit burger.
Professor Ikeda has invented the first steaks based on proteins from human excrement. The artificial steak, according to initial tests, even tastes like beef. It's 63% protein, 25% carbohydrates, 3% lipids, and 9% minerals to make one turd burger. According to Professor Ikeda, the turd burger has an obvious advantage other than completing the food chain.
If you've been paying attention to the WEF's policies in recent times, you'll realise that this isn't really about saving the world. WEF policies all have one thing in common. They dehumanise, degrade and mock us. They are designed to take away all of the joys of life and inflict maximum pain. The campaign to force humanity to give up meat and subsist on bugs and crickets is a good example. A WEF insider actually admitted that it's about crushing the human soul. Then there's the depopulation drive, which was a conspiracy theory for a long time, but is now completely out in the open. They aren't even trying to pretend that they don't want you dead anymore. According to this WEF stooge, depopulation should be rebranded as degrowth to get the mindless plebs on board with the grand plan.
We have to acknowledge what lays below our growth. White supremacy, colonialism and imperialism. White supremacy justifies a global system of exploitation and extractivism. Colonialism lays at the foundations of the European economy, institutions, corporate value chains, trade deals, investment agreements, and geopolitical structures of wealth accumulation, which means that there is no degrowth without decolonization. We need to take these conversations outside of these rooms and make sure that for all of the hundreds of fossil fuel lobbyists demanding growth, there are thousands of us demanding degrowth.
At what point do we stop and say enough? How many times does the World Economic Forum have to declare their sinister intentions before the world stops and listens? Of course, the mainstream media has been co-opted by the World Economic Forum, and they'll try to cancel you if you dare to speak sense about any of these issues. According to the mainstream media in 2020, obesity is healthy, the vaccines are not causing people to keel over and die, Hunter Biden is the model first son, and abortion is love. George Orwell warned us about these times. He said they would convince us that war is peace. How right he was. The World Economic Forum has issued a series of chilling warnings to the people of the world. Hand over your sovereignty to the global elite, or face certain death. This power-hungry cabal of billionaires and politicians has long plotted to enslave the masses, and now they're making their move. If we do not comply with their demands, the WEF warns, we will face certain doom. They claim that only by handing over your freedom and autonomy to the elite and degrading ourselves can we hope to avoid the catastrophes that are looming on the horizon. But more and more people are refusing to submit to the WEF's tyrannical demands. Brave activists and rebels are rising up to fight back against the globalist elite, determined to defend their sovereignty at any cost, determined to protect their families and those they love. If you choose to stand up and fight, then welcome to the fold. I know at times it can feel dark and lonely, but the masses are waking up and the elite won't be able to take over as easily as they thought they could. Please like and subscribe to this channel so that we can continue sharing the news that the mainstream media dares not touch. And please share this video with anybody you think is receptive to hearing the truth. Stay strong, we will win this fight.